This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, October the 5th, is a former basketball superstar who actually is co-owner of the Atlanta Hawks of the NBA. He's now an analyst for CBS Sports doing college basketball. But this man was a legend in college at Duke University, leading them to a pair of national championships. He has good genes because his father played in the NFL, and this guy was an NBA superstar as well. He is vice chair of the board for the Hawks, and he's 51 years old today. He is Grant Hill. Grant Hill was picked to go to Duke. Although his parents wanted him to go different universities. His mom wanted Grant to go to Georgetown. His father wanted him to go to North Carolina. But Hill decided to go to Duke, staying in North Carolina, but, for those guys. It actually worked out quite well for Grant Hill, being part of the Duke team that won back-to-back national titles in 91 and 92. It was huge because that was the first time a school had won back-to-back national championships since the UCLA dominance of the 60s and early 70s. Grant Hill would actually get to a championship game for the third time in his four-year college career in 94, being the man who was trying to get Duke to a title against my Arkansas Razorbacks, but he lost. He was named ACC Player of the Year in 1994, got his number 33 retired by Duke. He was pretty good and all that. Grant Hill will be always known for his famous pass at the end of the 92 regional final, or Elite Eight, if you will, game between Duke and Kentucky, as he threw the baseball pass. He was unguarded, but he heaved the imbalanced ball 75 feet into the hands of Christian Laettner, who dribbled once, spun, and shot the jumper, and got Duke to win that quarterfinal and to win the 92 national title. It was amazing what he could do and all that. So the 94 NBA draft was happening. After Glenn Robinson and Jason Kidd were drafted 1-2, it was Detroit's turn, and they knew they had to go with Grant Hill. So they did. Detroit picked him third overall. He would be the small forward. He did pretty well, 19.9 points per game. Just missed at 20. Hill ended up sharing Rookie of the Year with Kidd, who was picked by Dallas. But Hill became the first Piston since Dave Bing to win the award. No, that's not Chandler Bing's father. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, he actually led All-Star fan balloting in his rookie season, which was amazing. In his second season, he went back to the All-Star game and had the best fan balloting around. He led the NBA in triple-doubles with 10. A triple-double for basketball fans, well, for non-basketball fans, is you have to get 10 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds, and 10 blocks. Well, 10 blocks, 10 steals. So if you get 3 out of the 5 categories of 10 plus, points, assists, rebounds, steals, and blocks, you get 10 of those in 3 categories. Then that's called a triple-double. Anyway, Grant Hill was part of the 96 Olympic squad that won the gold. And then Hill came back and helped Detroit out. All that. He was third in MVP voting behind Karl Malone and Michael Jordan. Hill had the role of being a point forward, running the Pistons offense. So anyway, he would pick up a lot of assists and all that. He led the team in assists for the third time, even though he was like a small forward. In fact, Grant Hill joins Will Chamberlain and Elder Baylor as the only players in NBA history to lead their teams in scoring, rebounds, and assists more than once. So anyway, Grant Hill was just iconic for the Pistons and all that. A seemingly short ankle injury by Grant Hill late in the 2000 season may have been innocent, but it led to him being a major liability. Hill, through the first 6 seasons of his career, had actually done quite well. 9,300 plus points, 3,400 rebounds, and 2,700 assists. The only 3 players to get more than that after the first 6 seasons were Oscar Robertson, LeBron, and Larry Bird. So anyway, Detroit knew they were going to lose him to free agency, so they did a sign-in trade. Detroit had signed Hill to a 7-year, $92 million contract, then dumped the contract under Orlando and him for Chucky Atkins and Ben Wallace. It actually worked, as Ben Wallace would soon become a powerful center for the Pistons. Anyway, the Magic were hoping for good things from him because, after all, they got Tracy McGrady away from Toronto. Unfortunately, ankle injuries would hurt Grant Hill. He would only play 4 games the first season, 14 the second, and 29 the third. And he had to miss the 4th year with Orlando due to injury. So, man, that was just huge and all that. In 2003, he went through a surgical procedure in which doctors would refracture his ankle and realign it with his leg bone. Unfortunately, 5 days after surgery, he developed a fever and convulsions. Went to the hospital. Hill had contracted an MRSA infection. He would have to take antibiotics for 6 months. But by the 2005 season, he played 67 games for Orlando. But the problem was that Orlando moved on from Tracy McGrady for Steve Francis, and it was like huge. But Hill did his job. He was an all-star starter. And the Sportsmanship Award. Unfortunately, injuries would nag him. With Orlando. So a couple of years for Orlando, he couldn't do it. He was an unrestricted free agent. And Hill signed with Phoenix, which was huge. Phoenix would take a chance on him. Grant Hill wasn't expected to wear number 33 because it was kind of retired for Alvin Adams of the Suns. But Adams allowed him to wear 33. He played 70 plus games for the Suns in that year. And then in 2009, he appeared in all 82 games, all the games in the season, in first time in his career. So he was coming back from it. There were rumors that the Knicks and Celtics were going to try to go after Grant Hill, but he decided to sign with Phoenix again. Hill finally won a playoff series in 2010 as the Suns won the first round. In fact, he was the first NBA player in history to finally win a playoff series after 15 plus years in the league. Unbelievable. The Suns went to the Western Finals but lost to the Lakers. So Hill accepted a deal to stay 1 more year with the Suns, signing a $6.5 million contract. After the Suns' contract expired, many teams pursued him, but he went with the Clippers, which was shocking in a sense. After 1 year with the Clippers, Grant Hill said enough was enough and retired. But 2018, he got inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame. And he became a co-owner of the Hawks in 2015. And broadcasting, he decided to go towards CBS. He would be part of the 2015 squad that would see, him be part of the main basketball thing with Jim Nance and Bill Rafferty. So anyway, it was just amazing what you could do. Hill actually was on the Fox sitcom Living Single in '95. He was in on a Home Improvement in '98 because Home Improvement was set in Detroit. Grant Hill was there. So anyway, personal life. Grant Hill's father, Calvin Hill, played in the NFL primarily for the Cowboys. Actually, Grant Hill dated Jada Pinkett Smith for a few years, and it was introduced to Canadian singer Tamia, and they married. They have 2 daughters. It's weird how Grant Hill's actually married to a Canadian. Yeah, did not know that. So he has a double major in history and poli-sci, or political science, from Duke. He's known for his charities and African American art. He played 1,026 games in the NBA, 16.7 points per game, 6 rebounds per game for Detroit, Orlando, Phoenix, and the Clippers. In the playoffs, he played 39 games, only winning 1 playoff series in his entire time, which was kind of sad if you get me thinking. So anyway, yeah, Grant Hill was known for being a dookie, and he knew he couldn't be a turd. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond, a dude.